Hi, I'm Shohini. Welcome to episode 2, the 10 Commandments of Bengali Cuisine. Today, we're going to talk about teto. This is teto. Teto is bitter. I don't know the spelling of teto in English because there's that n, teto, which we have in our language. So this is uche. We call it karela, uche, bitter gourd. It's one of my favorite vegetables, honestly. So we're gonna make something with this. And I really also want to make something with neem. So neem is an indigenous Indian leaf. Most medicinal things that you can eat. It's very good for your skin, it's very good for your hair. We eat a lot of stuff with neem. So Bengali food always begins with teto, okay? If you're having a meal at home, teto is how you start. And teto is that thing that will open up your palate for the rest of the meal. Also, it prepares your stomach. It's got some very deep-rooted Ayurvedic benefits. And I'm gonna show you how to really appreciate cooking with something like this. There's a lot of recipes you can make with this. We're just gonna make one today for our lunch. If you don't dry the neem, you just use it fresh, it's a lot more like pungent, the flavor, and like the bitter lingers in your mouth. But if you dry it, that's how we typically do it. You fry it or you toast it, and then you can store it as well. This neem is all from my house in Kolkata. It's a delicious bitterness to food. Again, honestly, if you like coffee, you probably like neem. I'm going to reiterate that. It's just, you're not used to eating it in certain ways, but Bengalis eat neem. I love neem, and my family loves neem. I'm actually very methodical with my spice cupboard. Everything has a place and it's quite well organized. I top things up very regularly and I freshen up my spices. I don't have massive dabbas of like ground up spices because I think the flavor goes. What you want to do is actually crush it up. So you don't get big mouthfuls of bitter. It's just very, very crushed up. One of my favorite things is having like bitter gourd bhaji, which is just like fried bitter gourd. We're not going to do that today, but that is beautiful and I love eating it. I think there's been times where, you know, I haven't eaten all these vegetables and I haven't had access to them, or I've been scared of cooking it, and I think I really feel the benefits because when you do eat it, you can really tell. And I think it leads to a really balanced diet, actually. I think perception of general desi food sometimes can be that it's really unhealthy. And I can't tell you how untrue that is. Obviously, when you eat luxury stuff, it is unhealthy, but that's in every single culture. But I think genuinely the way we eat at home, it is so balanced in a meal where you have, obviously you do have rice, and I'm not denying that we love our rice. We're Bengalis, we love our rice. That's something we really appreciate, but there's so many elements to this food. It's not just greasy and luxurious. It's using seasonal vegetables, using all flavors of vegetables, especially the bitter ones, which is what we're focusing on today. You know, there's a really beautiful thing of like, obviously I've got an aubergine here. We're going to use it for another dish. But I've noticed this with my ma, my dida, my takuma, like any females in the family that are cooking, right? You don't use one vegetable for one dish, usually. There's this thing, I used to make fun of this when I was little, of like they'd cut like small sections of the vegetable and keep the rest like wrapped up in the fridge for another dish. So it's like you have one vegetable, but you're not just doing an aubergine dish, right? You're adding a little bit of aubergine into this bitter gourd, for example, and then we're gonna make another dish with it. So kind of cutting it and chopping it, using the peels for something, using the seeds for something. And I really like that way of thinking. It stops you having like a really constructive meal plan and just kind of using your vegetables for different things. You know what I'm looking for? So basically when you do karela, you sometimes need a sweet vegetable. So I don't have carrots. Typically you'd have carrots, but put on the red pepper. We have always been doing this. We cook our bitter vegetables with something slightly sweet, like a little bit. So putting my aloo sheddo into my neem. Obviously it's too hot to mash right now. Neem aloo sheddo. I think this is one of my grandma's favorite dishes. Like she would have it every day. How cute. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and click on that bell icon.